Hi guys, welcome to episode 2. Episode 2, I'm just gonna talk a little about role-playing, what it is and stuff like that, so you new players know what's going on. And share some books and some of my collections and stuff, basically to reminisce for the players that are currently role-playing, or used to role-play. Okay, well, just a little quick history. Role-playing stemmed from wargaming back then before, Gamers Workshop, before Warhammer 40k, back then when wargaming was all about historical figures and stuff like that. Dungeons & Dragons was the first commercial product that came out from TSR, and from there it just spiraled into a huge thing. And then it kind of went down when video games and collectible card games like Magic came out. But when we talk about role-playing, there's, pen and paper, like freeform role-playing, which we used to host a lot. We had freeform role-playing forums, and people go in there, and that's without dice or anything. It's mostly, best way to describe it is like collaborating writing, where people, would start out with some kind of, setting or something, and then just talk back and forth and writing out all the actions and stuff like that. It's also play-by-email games, which is quite slow, but that's how RPGconsortium.com got started, was by me and a group of play-by-email people that got together. And then there's live action role playing, which I've been involved with for a while too. There's also other stuff like the Renaissance and SCA. They do a lot of reenactments with historical stuff, but it's also considered role playing in a way. But if you think about it, it really stems from when you were just a kid playing cops and robbers, because that in itself is role playing too. Now, there's no doubt about it. When you say role playing, first thing that pops up is Dungeons & Dragons, and that's because it's mainstream. It's kind of like saying wargaming and you think Gamers Workshop Warhammer. So let's go through some of my books from Dungeons & Dragons. Now, I'm going to kind of go through the history, because Dungeons & Dragons went through a lot of revisions and stuff like that. All my original Dungeons & Dragons stuff, the yellow book, the really shoddy publications back when it first started, all that stuff is in a box in storage, so I don't have those on me. So the original Dungeons & Dragons book looks something like this. Flemmy hardstock cover here, This is Rapiers and Daggers, by the way, if any of you guys remember Fantasy Games Unlimited. And just basic typeset, okay? And that was the original Dungeons & Dragons book. Then by the late 70s, they kind of had a two-pronged strategy. One was releasing Dungeons & Dragons in 5 boxes, 5 box sets, and each had more advanced rules as you go. Now, the basic box set is red, and they actually brought back that printing in the latest 4th edition as the basic set. So if you guys ever want to start in Dungeons & Dragons, that's actually, I guess, the set to get. I have not looked at 4th edition yet, and I heard it was horrible. The other title was Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, and this was released in books like this. Alright, this is the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Dungeon Master Guide, and it's the old Monster Manual. I don't have the Player's Handbook here with me. I'm not sure where it went. And the way they released these was just by books like this. These are 2 of the 3 core books. The other one is the Player's Handbook. And then they released lots of accessories and stuff that you could improve on the game. For example, the Monster Manual 2. Unearth Lacana is just more additions to the advanced rules. Dungeoneer Survival Guide, the Wilderness Survival Guide, and then they released other worlds too. This one, for example, is Greyhawk, for adventuring in Greyhawk, and there were multiple worlds too in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons that they released. One of my favorites is Forgotten Realms. Okay, this came out as a box campaign set. And then, other than accessories, they released modules. These are adventures. This is probably one of the oldest modules I have for Dungeons & Dragons. This is the Horror on the Hill. I don't know if you guys remember all that. And then you got other stuff like the Isle of Dread, Sinister Secrets of Salt Marsh. And these were pretty, classic adventures. I think, if you're old school like me, you'll remember. A Book of Layers. Really cool book that they came out with, and basically it is a book full of encounters that you could have to fill in between certain meeting points. Adventure pack. These are adventure hooks, like mini adventures that you could take your players on. They also had a world called Ravenloft, and that was more about horror and stuff. I kind of like that. Ravenloft was kind of cool. They had Oriental Adventures, ninjas and samurais and all that stuff. And it goes on and on. They released hell of a lot of books during the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons stage. And here's some other stuff. Forgotten Realms City System. I believe this is the whole city. Everything you need to know about Waterdeep. And then, of course, they got the world of Dragonlance. This is probably one of my favorite worlds, mainly because of the books. If you guys have never read Dragonlance, get it. The Chronicles and the Time of the Twins is 3 book sets for each set, and those books were epic. This is the modules for the first 3 sets of books. And man, those were the great nights when we did Dragonlance. We, did the whole venture of the books. Those novels got passed around my gaming group, and we all just, got all the modules and just played it. Ravenloft: A Light in the Belfry, and this actually comes with the adventure and a CD that you can use to play music and some, I believe, narration and stuff for your players. And of course, I don't know if any of you guys remember this. Nights Below. This is an adventure in a huge box like this. This is one of the biggest dungeon crawls out there for the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons system way back when. It's one of those epic adventures that everyone was talking about back then. Then they came out with the 2nd edition. And this is the Dungeon Master Guide, and this is the Monster Manual for the core books for 2nd edition. And they update some rules here. Here's the Mystara World campaigns, and most of the Mystara World stuff they released had the CD interaction stuff. Then here's some more modules. Here's the World of Dark Sun for Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. It's kind of a desert type of world. And of course more accessories for 2nd edition, Castle Guide, Creative Campaigning, the Complete Book of Elves. You guys remember this stuff? Forgotten Realms Waterdeep Adventure, Forgotten Realms Tantarus, the Hall of Heroes, and I believe this is just a book full of heroes you could use in your campaigns. Runes of Adventure, another Forgotten Realms adventure. Storm Raiders. As you can tell, I was really into Forgotten Realms. I liked Forgotten Realms. Here you go. Ninja Wars, Forgotten Realms. Oriental Adventures, 4 Forgotten Realms. The Fat Savage Frontier. The Curses of Azerbon. Yeah. Bloodstone Lands. Shadowdale. All Forgotten Realms. Trust me, it wasn't all Forgotten Realms. Dreams of the Red Wizard. The Drows of the Underdark. Talking about the Drows, of course, the famous Dritz character. And again, another great set of novels, 3-book series, I believe. The first one is the Ice Shard trilogies, and the second one is the Dark Elf trilogies, and more stuff. They also did class books in 2nd edition. I don't remember if they did on the first, but they had the Complete Wizard's Handbook and the Psionics. But they had the Fighters one. They had Paladins. And I think that's when I started getting out of Dungeons & Dragons, because after a while we just started creating our own role-playing system and our own world. And we kind of dropped Dungeons & Dragons in about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. A friend said, hey, let's play Dungeons & Dragons. And there was about 5 of us in the group. And picked up the 3.5, I believe. This is the 3.5 edition. The 3 core books here. And I didn't really get any modules. I don't even know if they made any more modules. I think they did, but mostly, by that time, I just ditched modules. Modules are great for me, anyways, for ideas and stuff. But other than that, everything comes from my own twisted mind. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but this is the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons battle system, the Fantasy Combat Supplement, and this is, I guess, their own version of wargaming, fantasy wargaming for Dungeons & Dragons. We had some fun with this. It was alright.